Hey everybody, it's Will Riggs, and this is the Dirt Talk Nation. You guys, we have a jam-packed show for you tonight. We'll be talking to Joe Bellm from BST Promotions. This dude promotes 3 different tracks in 3 different states. I can't wait to hear what he's got going on and how he makes all that work. We're also going to have Kevin Rogers from KR Promotions. From promoting tracks to promoting events, KR has done it all. And he has some big events planned for 2024. Can't wait to let you know about all of that. And just announced Austin Mundy, sprint car driver from Dallas, Texas. He's going to join us in the late part of the hour, around 7:45. So you guys stick around for that. We got tons of great racing on the horizon as the weather heats up and the tracks get even hotter. So strap on your seatbelts and get ready for the fastest show on dirt. It's time to go racing in the Dirt Talk Nation.
There from the start by his side, and through all the scars and pain he'd hide, he'd work extra hours to make ends meet, dragging to the shop flat dead on his feet. She never dreamed it would be this hard, but nothing comes between a man and his racing car. She said we're gonna be a mile down a dead-end street, when you know tracks like that you can never be beat. He'd lose the love but with top pride. Cries and grease stains in his eyes. There's no other love between a road and a tire. Nothing comes between a man and his racing car.
Oh, that's right. We're in the Dirt Talk Nation, and thank you so much for joining the show. And of course, before we talk about anything else that's going on in the racing world, which we will here momentarily, you know that I got to get my W in. I'll tell you, a couple days ago, I was feeling super down down physically because I was getting super dehydrated. My wife gets on me because ever since I had the stroke, I take so many medications and it dries me out. But you know what got me back on my feet, got me feeling better right there? Boom. W Hydro. It's got electrolytes. It's got all kinds of good stuff, and it tastes great as well. We're going to drop in. Let's see what flavor we're going to drop in tonight. Splash, hold on, Pine Berry Splash. Let me drop that up there in front of y'all. Pine Berry Splash. We're going to open this one up and drop it in so we can be hydrated for the show. Tons of stuff coming up. Joe Bellm, he'll be the first guest on the show. Man, he's got so much stuff going on. Before we get to that, though, I'm going to drop in this, get some water, some hydration going on for us. It only takes one little drop and one little bottle of water. We're going to tell you about what's going on around the different racetracks in the area and how you can watch those. We want to thank our friends at RaceOn Texas. We're going to be on their platform in the very near future. They're still working on it, man. They got tons of stuff going on, so can't really be upset that it's not up yet because those guys work really hard to bring you the very best racing from all over. Not just Texas, but Oklahoma, Louisiana, anywhere there's dirt track racing in the South, you can find our good friends at RaceOn. That's why right there, but now you see the RaceOn logo. So we appreciate you tuning in and joining in the show. You can join in by simply commenting on the show. They'll come directly into the studio here. Live from Fate, Texas at the Dirt Talk Nation studios. Man, if you were looking for some racing, let's talk about what's going down on Friday night. A little later in the show, we'll talk about what's going down Saturday night. But 3 events locally that you can check out on a Friday night. Arclatech Speedway up in Texarkana. They got Donnie's Birthday Bash. You can check out all the racing there. Let me tell you what's going down up there at Donnie's. For Donnie's birthday, they're going to get it going up here. Let me get this music going on a little more. Let's see what else they got going on. It's Donnie's Birthday's Best Bash at Arclatech Speedway. It's going to be live, of course, on RaceOn. Sorry, it used to be RaceOn Texas. Now it's just RaceOn, and those guys are awesome. But you guys can head out to the racetrack there in Texarkana, or you can subscribe to RaceOn and watch all the racing. Man, I tell you what, I've watched so much racing since I got my RaceOn subscription this week. I go up into my hobby room upstairs to get my dirt track oval RC cars going and watch racing. That's pretty much what I do on 2-3 days a week, man. So it's awesome. But you guys, if you're in that area, man, go out to Arclatech Speedway, support your local speedway, and support local dirt track racing. in that area. If you're down in Louisiana, Sabine Speedway, not only do they got racing going on this Friday night, they got an Easter egg hunt for the kids. How can you not support something like that? Not only are they trying to get the kids into racing, they're trying to support that Easter egg hunt too. So you guys get down to Sabine Speedway. If you can't get down, guess where you can watch it? You got it. RaceOn, RaceOn.com. Get your subscription. I'm telling you, it's worth every single penny. And also on Friday night, Heart of Texas Speedway. It's a regular race program going down on Friday night. If you're in that area, I want to say they're in the Waco area, Heart of Texas Speedway. I should have Googled that before the show, but yeah, it's in Elmont, Texas, which I think is outside of the Waco area. There, I know it's right off at 35. We pass it all the time when we head down south. So you guys get over there and check out and support Heart of Texas Speedway. And if you can't, guess what? You can watch it. Where at? You know, right here, RaceOn. So go to RaceOn.com and click on the join and check out the subscription so you can check out some racing. We're going to talk more racing about what's going on around the way and what's happening on RaceOn. We'll talk more about what's Saturday night here later on in the hour. But here in just a few moments, we're going to bring on Joe Bellm. He is the promoter of BST Promotions. Find him online, bstpromotions.com. And the reason I wanted you to go check them out is because they do, check this guy out. And look, those of you who know me know that I'm busy. I stay busy doing all kinds of stuff. You know, racing, at slot car racing, this show. I produce another show right after this on cryptocurrency and do all kinds of stuff. Like, I am constantly trying to get stuff done and trying to always create new things and stay busy with myself. Well, Joe Bellm, that dude stays crazy busy. He promotes 3 different tracks and 3 different, he promotes races at 3 different tracks. It's crazy, man. Crazy how much stuff he does, and I'm waiting on him to jump on. I appreciate you guys jumping on. Remember, you can interact with the show by simply commenting on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. It's available on all 3, and we'll read it off on the air. Christopher Kennedy, my buddy Kennedy on here. Boy, says, what's up, bro? What's up, my man? Hope you're doing well. Kennedy and I met drag racing slot cars, oddly enough, and we both love us some racing, and he's a big supporter of a factory stock driver, Blaine Murphy, who we will have on later on in the season. Once the season really gets cranked up, we'll start having a lot more guests from the racing world, a lot more guests from who actually spend time on the track, man. That's always what we're looking for there. But thank you so much for joining in the show. We're waiting on Joe to go ahead and jump on. He's going to jump on here in just a minute, and then we'll get him in. And we'll talk about all the stuff he's got going on, y'all. Let me go ahead and send him a message here. And so what do you guys want to know about? What tracks do you want to know what's happening at? That's what I want to know from you. All you got to do is comments, leave a comment. And then look, I really want to thank everybody because we actually had 2 weeks ago when I did the very first Dirt Talk Nation of the season, we had 181 followers. We're close to 700 followers now. 700? Are you kidding me? It's been growing like crazy. And so we're super thankful and super excited for that. So we're actually going to be doing a giveaway very, very soon. I'm going to post the rules and everything online on how you can enter to win. We're going to have a brand new Dirt Talk Nation hats and t-shirts. See this? Check this logo out right there. Boom, right there. Our friends from this place, Black. Let me get my finger on the screen. Black Acid Racing Apparel. Those guys are hooking us up with some ball caps and some t-shirts, and we're going to have an online store on their website very, very soon. But we're going to be giving away. I'm going to tell you how you can get a t-shirt and hat combo where you can win one. And all you got to do is share the show, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I'll post that up on our Facebook page. Make sure you follow our page at Dirt Talk Nation on Facebook, and you'll see how you can win some Dirt Talk Nation apparel so you can sport it around town. I'm super excited. Joe says his daughter's jumping on the computer for it now. I guess she's going to get him all squared away. Waiting on Joe to jump in. I see him jumping in. We're going to get him here in just a minute. So much stuff to talk about with Joe. Like, we're going to fill up this show here in just a minute. Matter of fact, Joe's on the stage now, so let's bring Joe on the show. Hey, Joe, what's happening, my man?
How are you?
Man, I am doing well. Let me turn this music down just a little bit. I don't want it to be a little too overbearing there. Now, check it out. El Paso County Raceway in El Paso, Texas. Lincoln County Raceway in North Platte, Nebraska. Phillips County Raceway in Holyoke, Colorado. I hope I said that right. Also involved with the ASCS Elite North Outlaw Region, C2 Micro Sprints, and so much. I'm going to ask you something that people ask me. How the hell do you have time for everything, and when do you sleep?
Well, I thought as I got this white hair and I got a little older, I'd get a little smarter, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I just seem to be getting, I guess, dumber because we just seem to take more on and do more things. But it's a passion. It's as you know, with the racing stuff. We're all junkies in a way, right? I tell people all the time that we make crackheads look like Cinderella. They ain't got nothing on us.
Way more money than crackheads.
They ain't got nothing on us. Real quick, I'll back you up real quick, though. It's funny. El Paso County Raceway is actually just east of Colorado Springs. It's El Paso County. So you have El Paso in Texas, and then El Paso County. So it's kind of like our Lincoln County, which everybody knows of Lincoln, in Nebraska. Lincoln County is in North Platte. So I don't know how I got those confused racetracks, but I do. I have a couple of them that are kind of challenging that way. So we have two in Colorado. We have the one in Nebraska. We help out a lot of other tracks. My uncle owns I-76 Speedway. That's who got me in this mess. I blame him all the time when I was, little. So that's who started the sickness, if you will. And it's just went on from there. So as you said, we do have the three tracks. We have the tours, the series, kind of a good new thing to put out there. Actually just kind of sealed the deal this week is our dirt car sanction with our late models. That's going to be big. So if you go to our website, bstracing.com, it's kind of spells it out because I get confused and I forget everything. So I got to go to my own website to figure out where I'm going, what I'm doing, and what we're promoting this week or next week or whatever it may be. So definitely advise people to go to bstracing.com. If you're in the Colorado area, Nebraska area, call us. We'll hook you up. And we tell everybody we sell good times to good people. That's our story, and we're sticking to it. So
you mentioned the late models, and I love the late models, and they don't here in of course I live in DFW and I work at RPM Speedway. I don't think the late models come this way near as much as I would like because I love them. I think they're freaking awesome. I think they look great. But you guys got the correct me if I'm the Western. There's a lot of words. Western Outlaw late models, and you got those coming to Holyoke and El Paso County.
So what we do, if you look at our schedule, we've got our Dirt Car Outlaw region, and then within that region, you have a southern and a northern tour challenge, we call it. But essentially, it divides the two tracks that we have, and we kind of meet at Holyoke for all the races. That's definitely where we started this. We started promoting there in 2000. So, geez, that's 24 years ago. That's crazy.
Thanks for making that. Now I'm like, okay, now I'm really feeling old.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So 24 years ago is when we started actually promoting of the tracks. BST actually started as a traveling modified series back in the day. And we basically, a bunch of us got together and said, hey, we're kind of bored with one track. We want to venture out. And it started with a modified tour. And then the modified tour led to some promotion of shows, and promotion of shows led to promotion of racetracks. Promotion of racetracks took on its own legs of series and, sanctioning bodies that you deal with. So the reality is we deal with all of it, if you will. And you got to deal with it at a level to try and excel it for, to make it bigger, better. That's what we try to do, put on the best show possible. The uniqueness or the tough thing now is we've divided that pie up so many times. It's kind of crazy. Back in the day, old school, You mentioned late models. You know, you had sprint cars, late models, midgets, and maybe a stock car or a bomber division, if you will, and that's all we had. I wish it was still that way. It's not. Now you have lightning sprints, mini sprints. We got go-karts. We got the 5 or 6 divisions of IMCA. I think at one time I counted all the divisions that we have at our tracks at one point in time. It's like 14 divisions.
Holy smokes.
So we've divided that pie up one too many times, I believe. And that's the reason why you see some of the low car counts, I believe. So we're trying to go back old school as much as we can. You mentioned the late models. You miss seeing those. That's what I grew up watching is late models and sprint cars. And we're actually currently racing late models now. I can tell you as a promoter, my phone rings for a couple reasons. And it's always sprint cars. It's always late models. Sometimes it's midgets and stock cars, or kind of I think anybody knows that stock cars put on a great show wherever you go in the country. So your stock cars are big, but definitely sprint cars and late models. So it's imperative that we have a good quality sprint car and late model show. Ironically, I'm sure you know some of the stuff that came down with ASCS here over the last couple of months. It was kind of ugly for a while. And then World Racing Group stepped up and stepped in, and I can't say enough about what they've done. And so what made perfect sense with us is obviously with World Racing Group taking over the ASCS side of things, and the sprint cars were in good shape. We talked immediately after having the conversations with that and where we're going with that. And it was like, well, what about the late models? And I was like, it's a perfect time because our late models in this geographical area, we've had Gary with High. He's done a great job. Started it out here, but I think there's a need for growth, and I need a good, healthy late model division, as I said. So getting a unification under the sanctioning body of dirt car obviously is the best for late models. So that's kind of where we're heading with that now.
And you're also doing, and we kind of talked about this in Messenger. It kind of cracks me up because I've been watching this guy race, I think, my whole life, and he's still out here doing it. You got some big shows coming up featuring the one and only Sammy Swindell, man. Tell me about those.
Yeah, got to know Sammy over the years, back in the day when we started this promotion stuff, which is been doing it for 37 years. That's another thing to age you, but brought the World of Outlaws back out to Rocky Mountain Speedway back in the day, and then when they split to that. What was it? They call it the USA Sprint Car. Remember that deal back when World of Outlaws and them split like they're doing now?
Yeah,
I forgot what they called it.
Lots of letters.
But anyways, got to know those guys, Kinzer, Swindell, and over the years, Swindell still continued to race. Hashtag still winning, which is amazing. He likes to come out here, has a little vacation. We hook him up pretty good. He vacations, and we put him in a first class ride. And last year, he schooled them all. So crazy enough, he went back to back. He won at El Paso, and then we took him up to Phillips County, and he won up there as well. So there's a lot of people running for him this year. I don't think it's going to be as easy for him, but it's always good to bring him. Believe it or not, I think that a lot of people still think Steve Kinzer and Sammy Swindell are the World of Outlaws. They obviously started it. Those were the two big names, as you mentioned, growing up. So it's crazy to see his career, how far he's gone, what he's done, and also to see how he's still competitive as anybody. So he's maintained his health, he's maintained everything, and like I said, his deal is hashtag still winning, and he's still doing it. So the people here really enjoy him, and like I said, the locals and then the regional people. Let's face it, everybody wants to race with Sammy Swindell. You can't race with Steve anymore, so you got to race with Sammy. And you better do it quick, because I can't see how he can go too much longer, to be honest. But who knows? He might be able to do it.
He's one of those guys that he's just like Thanos from the Marvel movies. He is inevitable. You know what I mean? Like, he is inevitable. He gets on the track, and I remember we would when we started taking our daughters to the racetrack. My wife actually grew up racing competition karts, and she was so good. She was so good as a 12-year-old girl that they made her race with the guys because she would just wear the boys her age out,
Yeah.
And so she grew up, and so she'd go to the racetrack with her dad, and she's like, Sammy Swindell. So when we started taking the girls to the race, and she's like, oh my God, Sammy's still racing, and like here we are another 10 years later, and he's still out there doing it, and if you're going out to these racetracks for these events and you get a chance to see Sammy Swindell running their car around the track, you are watching a legend.
Exactly.
Do it. So if you don't know, now you know.
Exactly. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Have you seen that book he put together?
I haven't.
That's pretty impressive in itself. You need to actually get online and get one of those. But that kind of tells you everything. And I was surprised. I thought I knew it pretty good, but then when I went through that book, I was like, wow. He's done a lot.
The world of racing, like just in general, like when I first started doing Dirt Talk Nation, I was basically just hyper focused on I worked at 2 different tracks, and I wanted to hyper focus on those tracks and nothing else. And then when the opportunity to come back to get back to the racing world this year, I wanted to not only just, obviously I wanted to showcase the track I work at and showcase myself and what, my place in racing, but I also wanted to reach out to outer areas. And when you reached out, we started talking. I'm like, man, he's way out of the area of where I'm normally trying to advance. But that's kind of what I want to do, is like, I want to promote the sport of dirt track racing, not only where I'm from, but also outside of the area, including where you guys are from. And I appreciate you jumping on and jumping in with me and talking racing. So what can fans expect at these racetracks going forward this year? What are some of the big, like, must-see events that if somebody can only pick 2 or 3 races to hit up at each track during the year, what are some of those big events that they really need to hit up?
So we obviously start with our big shows. I'm a firm believer in that. Come out of the box, big and strong. But also we've changed our business direction towards. I think everybody back in the day, or even not too many years ago, we were all trying to put as many shows as we could on. A typical track could have 15 to 20 shows, if you will. Some had more. Some raced every Saturday. So we changed that a while back, actually with my uncle. And we went to every other weekend, and we alternate weekends, if you will. Well, that's even changed more this year. This year, I am totally cutting back, and it's all about quality over quantity. I love the weekly racing. Don't get me wrong. IMCA is awesome. But I do believe, my personal opinion, that the bar has raised so high for people in their demand for entertainment that the local show is just not going to cut it anymore. I think the bigger shows is where you have to go. So we've cut our shows back in order to make all of our shows big. So we start big with Sammy, but for example, at Lincoln County, we go right from Sammy Swindell to Kenny Schrader, Kenny Wallace with NASCAR night. So all of our shows all year long, regardless of where it's at, if it's El Paso, Lincoln, or Phillips, they're always going to have mid models, sprint cars, or midgets. Those are the premier divisions out there. You mentioned how they're getting bigger, and it's what people see on TV. Let's face it, Kyle Larson. With everything that's going on with the high limit and stuff like that.
It does not matter what car he gets into, bro. He's gonna be at the front of the pack. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. I watched him a couple of years ago when I was the voice of Devil's Bowl Speedway. He was racing the World of Outlaws. He broke the track record not once, not twice, but 3 times in the same night, man. It was awesome to watch. He was just out there just murdering the track, dude.
He's the phenom. I mean, the guy's incredible for sure. I mean. If you talk natural talent, I can't say I've seen anybody with as much natural talent as he has. I mean, it'll be impressive to see actually where he goes. I mean, he's still mid-career is with his age. If he wants to keep going, old guys like me and Sammy Swindell, heck, he could do a lot if you think about it.
I agree. I'm telling you, that night I was just in awe I was glad that, World of Outlaws clearly have their own announcer, right? I was glad that I didn't have to announce. I could just watch and take it all in because he was just killing the track. And broke the track. Breaking the track record once, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then he broke his own record.
Goes back,
yeah. And he did it 3 times in one night. I was like, this is amazing. Kyle Larson is an absolute phenom behind the wheel, and it doesn't matter what kind of car you put him behind, dude. He's gonna be in the front of the pack for sure.
But and I tell people that we help people race, and my daughter races. We help myself. I still race. It's about laps, and I call it the Kyle Larson effect. Because that guy will get in any car, anytime, anywhere, any place. It doesn't matter if it's one of those little go-karts, what it is. He just races. So that, in my opinion, is what it takes. You just got to get laps in. All the laps you can get.
And I've never had the itch to get into a race car. I mean, I like to go fast. I'm like,
don't do it. Don't do it. I'll just tell you now. You made it this far. Don't do it. Don't screw up your life that bad.
No, I had a stroke last year, so just walking is a challenge for me. But I'm definitely, when I get behind the wheel, I'm definitely a Ricky Bobby. Like, I want to go fast. I want to go fast. My wife did race, and she's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good now. I think I've gotten all the racing out of my blood. But we love going to the racetrack. She actually is going to be working at the racetrack with me this year as well. So definitely maybe one weekend. So like we like to travel together, she and I. So maybe one weekend when we're off at our racetrack, man, we can make a trip up to one of yours and
heck yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun.
We'll put you behind the mic because I can see you're already good at that. So we'll get you up in the booth and you can be the co-announcer with our announcer.
Let's go. I'm in. Let's do it. We will definitely go do that. It'd be fun times right there, man.
Right on.
I do appreciate you jumping on. And later this summer, what's your biggest summer show this year?
So once again, honestly, they're all big, but we're coming out with our big stuff. But that NASCAR night's going to be big. We're going to have Schrader and Wallace racing one another with the stock cars. They want to get behind the stock car, mind you. I was going to put them in a late model and stuff like that, but they're ready to run the stock cars, and I think that'll be big. We've got bunch of races. The midgets are one of my favorites, and the Rocky Mountain midgets out here. We've got them a couple times this year. Those will be big shows for sure. But once again, every one of our shows are going to be big. So that's our motto this year: go big or go home.
Man, I love it because that's the only way I know how to roll. My wife is like, I don't understand why you just can't not do anything, and I'm like, can't do it, man.
Right.
When I decided I was going to do the Dirt Talk Nation again, actually, I was going to try to do it last year. And if you go back on our page, you'll see you'll see a little thing where I'm like, look, sometimes it's hard to admit that you got too much on your plate. But I can't do it this year because I do have too much on my plate. And keep in mind, this time last year, I was a traveling musician. Like every weekend, my band and I were on the road. So trying to keep up with the racing, keep up with the band, keep up with the regular full-time job, trying to keep up with everything was way too much on my plate. You know what I mean? So it was hard to not do it because I love racing so much, and I know a lot of the guys here in the DFW Metroplex. And what I really would like to do is reach out and talk to more drivers from other tracks, like your tracks and stuff like that. So if you could send them my way, man, I would love to have them on and love to talk about it. And
we can do it
after the show, man. Let's look at the schedules and see where you're at, and see where I'm at, and see if we can plan a little trip up there, man.
Heck yeah.
It'd be good times.
Heck yeah, up here in Colorado, it's beautiful up here. You'll enjoy it, man, for sure.
Look, we love it. We actually are one of our favorite places on earth is Red River, New Mexico.
There you go.
So, we love to go to Red River, so I'm sure my wife wouldn't have any problems with going to Colorado or Nebraska, either one. We just like to road trip together, and it's always a good time for us. So I want to say thank you so much for jumping on with us, and we love getting text messages on the show because people comment on the show, and it's always a good time. But thank you so much for jumping on with me, Joe. We'll talk very soon, brother, because I would
sounds good.
Love to come up there and have a good time with you, brother. Appreciate it very much.
Keep in touch. Thank you very much.
You got it, Joe. Have a good one, buddy. BST Promotions. Find them online, bstpromotions.com. See everything they got going up there in Colorado and Nebraska, and see what they got going on. You guys, we're going to take a quick break. Got a little message from our presenting sponsor, East Texas Towers. If you need any type of tower, whether it be for your cell phone, for internet, for your ham radio, whatever, they got you covered. We got Kevin Rogers coming up right after this on the Dirt Talk Nation. We're back in the Dirt Talk Nation. Now, Kevin Rogers, I met KR years ago, probably 2017, when I first started hitting up, working at the racetracks and stuff. And, of course, I fell into racing just by pure happenstance, being in the right place at the right time. And he's been a mainstay of DFW racing, you guys. He has done promoted tracks. He's promoted events. He's promoted everything, okay? And this year he said, look, I'm focusing on badass events, and that's what he's doing. So let's bring him on right now. And coming to the main stage, it's KR. Kevin Rogers. What's up, my man?
Oh man, sorry. Hadn't shaved. Hair looks terrible. Just out working. So glad to be on the show and just sitting still for a minute.
Man, sitting still is something that I have a hard time doing, and my wife gets on my ass about it quite a bit, especially since I had this stupid stroke. But I can't do it. I'm excited. It's a new race season is upon us. We've got tons of racing all over, and of course we just had Joe Bellm on he's up promoting up in Colorado and Nebraska, and you're promoting every damn where, man. Tell us what you got going on, son.
Man, we had a lot going on January, February, a little bit in March, and then our big one that I'm excited about is coming up next weekend, Tri-State Speedway, Pensacola, Oklahoma, the inaugural 99 Nationals. It's a pretty cool format. We got 99 B mods locked in. We're gonna peel draw them. Mo Buddy Owen Pittman with 3-7 awards. He got me some metal wallets, and he engraved the logo of the event and the peel draw numbers on the back. So when they draw their peel, they get a cool little souvenir there, to keep with them. But they'll draw in the order they registered, and then once we get them done, we'll have 3 brackets. It'll be our 3 qualifiers. They're gonna go 33 cars, 33 laps, 3 wide. On Friday night, 3 qualifiers. 1 through 11 will go to the gold feature. The next 11 to the silver, last 11 to the bronze. The gold's a 5,000 to win, 500 to start. 3 and 3, 2 and 2. So it's kind of a unique format. It's a canned program. We got 99 B mods, but everybody's going to make a feature. And we're going to turn around and run them 3 wide, 33 cars, 33 laps on Saturday as well.
Man, that is I've never seen that before or heard of it. It's actually a very, very cool layout, and people coming to the racetrack, they can go 2 nights and see 2 phenomenal nights of racing in that particular format. And of course, I'm sure the drivers love the format because they're all features, and they're all the payout is outstanding for those. And of course, the guys that want to make that gold feature, they want to get up there and get that first place, man.
Well, there's a couple of things. So I can't take credit for this. Brad Dixon, a few years ago at the Tulsa Shootout, he was telling me he hadn't had this idea. And he walked away for a couple hours, and I saw him. I said, hey, Brad, can I steal that idea? He said, absolutely. I think it'd be a cool one. We tweaked on it, did some things with it. But so I'd like to take credit for it. But Brad Dixon, the Lone Star 600 guru, he gets the credit for the idea. But I'm thankful that we were able to get it Tri-State Speedway. But I've been telling guys for years, and I'm a positive person. I don't really get negative, but a lot of our qualifying nights have gotten so boring that you get no crowd. And I'm not sure we'll get a crowd on Friday night, but we just made qualifying night exciting. Because let me give you some scenarios. You got a race for the top 5. Well, now 9th to about 13th is a pretty good battle. And then about 20 to about 24 is a good battle. Because in the racer's mind, just say you get a caution with 5 to go, William. If you're running 12th Do you want to get to 11th and start 31st in the 5,000, or do you want to start on the pole of the 3,000? So I think we're going to have a little excitement, a little interest, a little chess match, if you will. But from the racer standpoint, we got practice on that Thursday night. I can't control how much fuel and tires they want to burn up practicing, but they're going to run 33 competitive laps Friday and 33 competitive laps Saturday. They know what tires to bring. They know what fuel to bring. Hopefully, it's a more of a relaxing and an enjoyable type of big show event that's not full of as much pressure because you're guaranteed a spot in the feature.
And one of the things that what I like about it, especially, is 33 laps is a lot. Like, that's more than a regular feature race on a regular race night. Usually it's 20 to 25 laps on a regular race night, depending on the track. But if you're running 33 for every single one, that's a lot of racing for people to be able to take in, and it's definitely going to be worth their money for sure.
That's right, and we're going to be running stock cars and factory stocks. We got a good field of those guys running for good money, and so they'll run two separate shows, our standard heat races and features and stuff. So I'm sitting at James Potter's shop, and he just showed up, so I just had to wave at him here. But they're going to get a good show. They're going to see 3 qualifying features and 2 regular features Friday, and then 5 good money features on Saturday. So I'm excited. I think we got a lot to learn. I'm ready to get this one going and get it behind us so we can kind of start growing the notebook. So when we get back for year 2, we can start trying to figure out how to refine this and make this a big deal.
And that's April 5th and 6th, not this Friday and Saturday, but next Friday, Saturday at Tri-State Speedway in Pensacola, Oklahoma. You also, I saw recently, you also promoted a car show. But you promote all kinds of stuff besides, racing and all kinds of other stuff.
Well, a buddy of mine, Kyle Hamby, owns McKenzie Racing Supply in Van Buren. His car show, but I went and helped judge it and kind of help promote it a little bit, let people know about it. So, all that stuff's good for the sport. We used to do a lot of that stuff 20, 25 years ago. We interacted with our audience. We did a lot of that stuff, and for some reason, we think that's a bad idea these days. We sell people tickets. We forget about them once they get there, and we just put on car races and we go home. So I want to get this a little more interactive. Like, for instance, on Saturday at the Nationals, my top 9, my front 3 rows, they're going to be required to come around front from 4:30 to 6 and sign autographs for the kiddos. We're gonna kind of build some heroes out of these guys again. I think we've kind of lost that effect. And I know for me, 40 years ago when I was a kid, going to the races, I had heroes. And it's because they talked to me. They gave me a trophy from a trophy dash or whatever. But we need to get back to that, in my opinion, to kind of get some interest in this younger generation.
And a lot of racers I talk to, and I love it too, man, when you're driving down the highway and they hate closed trailers. Because how cool is it when you're driving down the road, you're a kid, you're driving down the road with your parents, and you look out and there's this freaking badass race car on an open trailer with the wheel. You got the tires up there and the whole rack. I think it ignites the imaginations for the kids, and that's how you build future fans. And like what you're doing is coming out and having them come out and bring their car around and take pictures and sign autographs with kids. All you're doing is creating the next generation of race fans that want to go over and over again. And as a parent, I know that if my kid's like, I want to go to the races, and they're going to just bother the hell out of their parents, tell their parents, like, we're going to the races. We're going to the races because my kid will not shut up about the races. And so basically you're just creating new memories for families and also creating new race fans, man. It's a pretty cool idea.
Well, that's it. And also for the driver's standpoint, if they can create some fans, they'll push some more of their merchandise. We want to help these racers get up and down the road the best we can too, and merchandise is a good way to do that. And I think it's good for their marketing partners, and there's a lot of photo opportunities. And at the end of the day, the racing is going to be cool, but I want to build an event. I want an event that people want to come to. You think of events, you think of the Knoxville Nationals and the World 100 and stuff like that. Like there's badass racing. We know we're going to get that, but the atmosphere is incredible at those events, and that's what we're trying to build up there. And hopefully over time we'll be able to get there and kind of accomplish what we're trying to get at.
It's kind of like tomorrow. Tomorrow, if you're a baseball fan, tomorrow's opening day. It's more than just baseball. Opening day is more than just baseball. It's about the pomp and circumstance of the event of opening day. And if we could create that week after week, then I think that you're going to look and find the stands will be a lot more full. more people will come out. Of course, more merch will be sold, and race stands will be packed again.
Well, I think so too. You know, it's like I love college football. I don't know why we're not trying to tailgate at these races. Why don't we have an atmosphere? Why don't we have a big screen up there showing college game day on Saturday mornings? Why aren't we incorporating secular stuff that everybody knows and putting it into our sport that kind of has a, I wouldn't say a limited ceiling, but we all know millions of people, or thousands of people, whatever the number is, and very few of them know much about dirt racing or motorsports in general. So we've got a small market share right now. So we need to expand it. Why aren't we doing happy hours at the concession stand? Why aren't we doing ladies' nights? Why aren't we doing things that are secular that the world knows what they mean? But then we get them there and there's a cool car race going on. They might come back and check us out again.
And that, that's actually a cool idea. And actually, while you were talking about that, I had other ideas on that. So we could talk about that later, because I think it'd be an awesome thing that we could put together with some of the guys that I work with and some of the guys that you work with. And actually, those guys are probably the same guys. But let's backtrack a little bit. How did you get into the racing? I got into the racing by I was in the right place at the right time, and literally at the Spring Nationals in 2017 at the Devil's Bowl, and just happened to fall into the announcing at the racetracks. How did you get into the racing?
Man, I started going as a kid, 4 or 5 years old. My dad took me, and I fell in love with it. I thought this was the neatest thing I ever saw. So I was that kid that would get up Saturday morning, mow the yard, and then wear my dad out. What time do we leave? What time do we leave? And so we'd get to the racetrack early, because I like watching the cars pull in. I like taking pictures when I was a kid. I enjoyed all that stuff. And then I kind of got into it, after college and stuff. We were doing some going and doing and whatever, but then kind of life gets in the way. So we're just a race fan, and we started racing a little bit. But 2015, I bought the Sprint Series of Texas, and that's kind of where the full-blown promotional thing. My dad promoted the track in San Angelo, Texas back in like 97. So that was my first shot at doing that, running equipment and doing things, whatever he needed. But my first full go up was 2015 with Sprint Series of Texas. And then, unfortunately, we lost our buddy Brian Mize. I mean, kept put on the first Brian Mize, and then just kind of, I guess it spiraled out of control at that point. We kind of got hooked, and I got him hooked, and he was still racing. And we had a chance to get RPM in 2019. We did that a couple 3 years, and he got Rocket and went up there. Last year I was at Arquitex, and I just I'm ready to just kind of focus on more of event stuff, and then on off weekends I'll probably at Rocket, because I'll go up there and help Kevin when I can. But like we was at Arrowhead Speedway last weekend working with RaceOn and working with Bryce Hall. So I like doing some of that as well. We go to Corpus every year and work with Owen. So I want to kind of do more freelance, if you will. I kind of want to go and just plug and play into some different situations and free up a little bit of time.
And that kind of and I get it, because like when I first was in 2017 and 2018, I was doing the Dirt Talk Nation. Of course, I was working at the Devil's Bowl and RPM, so I was hyper focused on those two tracks, because that's where I worked. And when I got the opportunity to come back into the race scene with RPM, I was like, I'm going to do the Dirt Talk Nation. This is my show, and I'm going to do it the way I want to do it, and that is to reach out and do, for tracks and events all over, not just DFW, but there's dirt track racing all over. And what's crazy, as the more I researched, I'm like, Jesus, within an hour and a half of DFW, there are like 12 tracks that you can go to any given weekend. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, there's no reason to hyper focus on just one or two tracks. Let's get them all in here and expand it, and and just talk about all the racing, because promoting dirt track racing at the end of the day is the goal of what I'm doing, and honestly what you're doing too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a livelihood for me, so I take it very serious. I got real aggravated a few years back at the track, and a guy called me and said, "Why was you so aggravated?" I said, "Well, this is your hobby. This is how I feed my family." So I take it a little differently. If we go fishing, I don't get mad. That's a hobby. But this is how I make a living. Everything I pretty much do is involved in motorsports, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's what I've committed to do, and that's what we're doing. So I do take it pretty serious, pretty passionate about it, because like I say, that's how I make mortgage payments and truck payments and whatever else we do, but no, I just love the sport. It's fun. It's frustrating. It's aggravating. Social media. I love social media. I think it's good for the sport, but I get tired of reading some of the stuff. It's not everything's going to work out right for everybody all the time. It's just the reality of it is. But we just got to kind of work together on this deal. I've always said that there's four main components of racing. It's the venue, it's the racer, it's the crews, and the fans, and the marketing partners. And when you get a season started, everybody's got a 25% stake in the game. And if you pull one piece of that out, none of it works. Nobody's more valuable than the other. Right. And I'll just say it now. I don't know how many people watch this, and people might get mad at me, but I'm tired of hearing we need to race for more money. They used to race for more money 30, 40 years ago. That's not true. If you look at them payouts back in the day, yeah, they were $1,200 to win. They paid the top 3. They paid the top 5. They paid the top 10.
Right.
I don't know if people been watching, but there's a 30,000 win B mod race in Arrowhead Speedway Labor Day weekend. Kevin Sestairs put on big mod races. Chase Allen's got a 50,000 to win. There's 10,000, 5,000 for factory stock. There's a lot of money out there. There's a lot of money north of here if you want to go chase it. At the end of the day, I think we focus back and get back to what the core of our sport is, and that's a hobby. It's a hobby for these guys. Just like if we go golfing, I'm not a good golfer. I don't expect to get compensated for my time on the golf course. It's just relaxing. So, and then when I race, that's how I looked at it too. I need to recover a little bit of my money. I couldn't spend it all and not get nothing back, but my peace time for the week was sitting in that race car because nobody could call me for 20 minutes. I got to just relax and go out there and run at the back and have a good time, So, but no, I think racing, I hear people all the time doom and gloom, and I just don't agree with it. I think racing's pretty good. I think negative people are negative people, not just in racing, with everything. And we got some in racing, we got some in football, we got some everywhere you go. Just look at the flip side of it. It's a pretty good thing to do. When you get to race a car, it's pretty cool because all them people sitting in the stands want to be you. And so when you get to make laps in a race car, regardless if you're fast or not, it was always cool to do that because I was like, man, there's a lot of kids that love to be doing what I'm doing, and I'm getting to do it. So I've lived the dream. If I don't get to do this much longer, I got no regrets. I've had a good time and I've enjoyed it.
Man, I appreciate you jumping on with us to talk about what you got going on. I'm sure we'll talk off the air because I got a few ideas that I want to run past you, and I'm sure I'll talk to you later on this season. You got a lot of big stuff on your calendar, and we'd love to have you anytime you want to jump in, buddy. I appreciate you so much. You can find them online, KR Promotions LLC.com. Yeah.
Yep, that's the place to find us. We got a bunch of social media outlets and be looking for some cool stuff breaking probably about midsummer for 2025. We got some pretty big stuff to announce, and I'd like to announce it now, but we're gonna wait till about July. And
how about then? How about when you're ready to announce it in July, you come back on the show and we'll talk.
We can do it. I'll give you a teaser. If you got a factory stock, you'll be ready to go in 2025.
Oh, you heard it right there. It's Kevin Rogers. KR, thank you so much for jumping on with me, buddy. I'll catch up with you soon.
I appreciate you, man.
You got it, bud. All right, y'all, there he goes, Kevin Rogers, KR Promotions. Find him online, KR Promotions LLC.com. See all the good stuff they got going on. We got Austin Mundy queued up. He's coming up next after we take another break with our amazing sponsors from East Texas Tower. It helps when you turn the microphone on. Now, a few years ago when I was working at the racetracks, matter of fact, I got my first gig at the Devil's Bowl in 2017. When I tell you I fell into that, I 100% fell into that. I actually was like, hey, this would sound good on the radio, right? And so I left my business card, and evidently the same weekend that I did that, the announcer at that track quit. And so I got a phone call, said, hey, man, you ever called racing? I said, no, but I bet I could probably pick it up. And the rest is history. I started working the very next weekend, or actually 2 weekends later. I started announcing races at Devil's Bowl and RPM, and that's where I met this dude. Welcome to the show, Mr. Austin Mundy. Austin, how you doing, bud?
What's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, man, just out here trying to get this racing thing on and promote the sport of dirt track racing. What about you?
Man, just trying to work on my business and became a dad last year. So I've got a year and a half old at the house, so it's that's fun. Chasing her around, especially at the racetracks, it's a lot of fun.
Oh, you're a girl dad, man. Look, I'm a girl dad times two. I can't even tell you how much that you're in for it, dude. You're in for it. There's a lot coming your way that you're gonna be like, man, I did not sign up for this, bro. Here in about 2 years, I'm like, hey, Austin, you wanna come on the show? Can't. Got makeup and lipstick on. My daughter's doing a makeover. Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, now when I walk home from work, she first thing she does is she takes me to the playroom and she goes, sit. And so I sit down and we play on the floor, and it's wild.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna get your fingernails painted, your toenails painted. You'll be wearing makeup. You'll be wearing funny hats, and
for sure.
Dude, don't be ashamed of it either, bro. Because that's that girl dad life, man.
That's what it is. What it is. It's the best.
It is what it is, man. Hashtag girl dad, man. I've lived it. I've lived it. So I will let you know that that's coming up. Now, you're getting ready for the race season. Have you put tires on the track yet this season?
Yes, we ran a couple times this year. This past weekend, we ran with the World of Outlaws at KENNEDALE Speedway Park.
Nice.
The goal this year is to just travel around, really focus on our big motor stuff, like the 410 stuff. We got a few 360 races on the schedule. Probably about 40 to 50 races is probably what it's going to end up after rain outs and stuff like that. But yeah, we've been on the track a few times, but nothing great to report. We crashed out one night. A different night we had engine troubles, and then this past weekend we just weren't very good. So nothing to report so far.
So when you say, oh, not a lot, 40 or 50 races, that's a lot of freaking racing, man. That's a lot of racing. Like, that's a lot of racing.
Yeah, we're fixing to get on a swing here where we don't have an off weekend until like after Halloween. It's going to be a really big year, but we're excited for it. We won a championship last year in the 410 class, and the goal is to just this year is really to not focus on winning a championship, more on winning races and being super competitive.
Man, there's a lot of, and for those of you who don't know, for those who don't know, what is the 410? So I know the 360s, and that's the ASCS style, and then you got 305 race saver sprints. And what's the 410s? That's like the World of Outlaws style, yeah.
Yeah. So the cars are the same. I mean, relative to rules and stuff like that. 305s, you're kind of like, they don't want you running certain parts in certain areas just to keep the cost down. But the cost of the 305s have gotten through the roof. So the 410s are really just more horsepower. You can run bleeders, you can run wing sliders, but it's the class that I run, which is the ASCS Elite Outlaw class. They run basically World of Outlaw rules. You can run, any tire. But we try to stick with as close to what the Outlaws run. That way, when we run with them, hopefully we have kind of an advantage.
And so we actually had Joe Bellm on earlier, and he promotes up at Lincoln County Raceway. And El Paso County Raceway, and as well as Phillips County Raceway, and they run the ASCS, the ASCS Elite North Outlaw region. Have you guys traveled up there to those tracks yet?
No, buddy. Last year was really our first year to dip into the 410 class. We had started in 22, but that year was kind of weird. A lot of races got canceled, weather. Like, I think we only got 5 or 6 races in that year. Last year was our first year to really go 410 racing pretty hard. and we stuck with the ASTS Elite Outlaw class, which is local to DFW and North Texas and stuff like that. We won the championship there. So the plan this year is to run the Midwest, run High Limit, run World of Outlaws when they're in town, and then just try to just win races.
Winning races is always fun. I mean, I've seen you win a few, over the course of my racing career, which was short, but now I'm back at it again. So when you, of course, I want to say South Dallas Battery was your sponsor. South Dallas Battery was your sponsor back in the day.
That's right.
Great people who are always supportive of you and racing in general. And now you're who's your biggest sponsors you want to mention now?
So this is kind of a rabbit hole we can go down. So Les hired me to drive his race cars. Les Butler.
Right.
When I started driving for him, he also hired me to work at South Dallas Battery.
Right.
And when he passed away, I also took over the business. His wife Patty was owning the business, but I was taking care of everything, building all the components. And 2 years ago, I bought the business from her. And so South Dallas Battery is no longer. Now it's my business, Classic Starter and Alternator. And that goes down a path because when I also bought the business was when Shane and Sherry Thompson, they own Precision Reprographics in Garland.
I love those guys.
Yeah, they're the best. They basically Patty out and said, we want you to drive for us. And I've been driving for them now right at about 3 years.
Does Shane still race?
Buddy, he ran a couple of races last year, but
he'd rather be on the beach, man.
He is enjoying being a successful businessman. He takes trips. Him and his wife are running around, and I love it. It's great.
I do too. I got of course Sherry's on my Facebook, and so obviously every time she posts pictures, it's like they're on the beach. You know what I mean? So I'm like, dude, enjoy Key West, bro. You're down there like, 3 weeks a month. Come home. Let's finish some stuff up. Let's go back to the beach, man. I can't blame them for that, but. Man, I appreciate you jumping on, man. You got anybody else? Of course, I already hit Precision Reprographics. You can find them online at precisionreprographics.com. Any of your vinyl needs, wrap needs, whatever, you can find them at precisionreprographics.com. And, man, look, anybody else chipping in on your ride this year?
Buddy, they pretty much just own everything. We have a few people help us along the way. I really want to say thank you to Tom Lorenz. He helps us a lot on just cost of things and stuff like that. And he has just been so great for me and my wife. Just when I need business advice and stuff like that, he's given it to me. And Shane and Sherry are really it for me. They take care of everything.
That's awesome. And for those of you who don't know, Tom Lorenz is the owner of Smiley's Racing Products. You can find him online. And Smiley's Racing Products and Hoosier Tire Southwest. You can find him online at smileysracing.com. Great people there. I love Tom. Tom's super chill to talk to. He's like very laid back like this right here. So always love talking to Tom, and I'm sure I'll be talking to him very, very soon, man. I appreciate you taking the time to jump on with us this week, Austin. Everybody else was kind of late, but I'm going to jump off with you. Let everybody else know where they can find a racing this Saturday night, and then we're going to wrap this up. But we'll talk to you later in the race season, my man. Good luck for you.
Good to see you, buddy. Thanks.
You too, bud. Thank you. All right, there you go, y'all. Austin Mundy, driver of the Precision Reprographics number 4 410 sprint cars. You guys check him out on the racetrack. If you're looking for racing this Saturday night, we'll tell you more about it here in just a minute, right after one last sponsor hit from our good friends at East Texas House. here in the Dirt Talk Nation. One last thing to run by you guys. If you're looking for dirt track racing this Saturday night, you can find it over at Lone Star Speedway. They got the Solo 275 going down Saturday night. Over at Texana Raceway Park, it's their season opener. That's this Saturday night. Over in Big O Speedway in Ennis, there's a regular race program. You can find them this Saturday night. Cotton Bowl Speedway, you can get their season opener going underway. It's like I'm telling you, racing starting up all around the state of Texas and then some. You can get that Easter event at 105 Speedway. Go check them out this Saturday night. Of course, KENNEDALE Speed Park's got it going down with the 305 Race Saver Sprint Cars this Saturday night. Grayson County Speedway has their season opener, and we already talked about Arklatex Speedway, Donnie's birthday bash, a two-night event for Donnie. You guys go check that out. If you can't make it to the Speedway, that's all right. We got you covered. Go check out our friends right here. Boom, at RaceOn, raceon.com. Click on join. Check out the membership packages. Get signed up, and you can watch directly on your home. If you got a smart TV, guess what? There is an app. If you have the Alexa or the Roku or whatever you got on your smart TV, you can download the RaceOn app. Go through, find what you want to race. You can watch the live races. You can watch past races. You can do whatever you want with our good friends at RaceOn, and very soon you're going to be able to watch the Dirt Talk Nation on the RaceOn platform. I do want to say thank you to our guests, Joe Bellm of BST Promotions, Kevin Rogers of KR Promotions, and of course, Austin Monday driver, the Precision Repro Graphics number 410 Sprint Car. We got more great guests coming up next week on the Dirt Talk Nation, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, every single Wednesday night. Tonight, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of the official theme song of the Dirt Talk Nation. It's called Racing Car by my good friend Kenneth Waters. Until next time, you guys, this is Will Riggs saying thanks for watching the Dirt Talk Nation. We'll see you right back here next week.
Stars by his side, and through all the scars and pain he'd hide, he'd work extra hours to make ends meet, drag him to the shop flat dead on his feet. She never dreamed it would be this hard, but nothing comes between a man and his racing car. She said, we're gonna